This exercise I'm using to work on stability in the pelvic area, but it does also work your calf muscles. It's standing heel drops. So what I'm going to ask you to do is come up onto your toes. I like to put either if you're standing, hands on the hips, or your forearms, which means you can then touch your chair. And all you're going to do is bring one knee forward as you drop the heel to the floor and coming back up. So nice and slow and controlled as you drop down. Be aware of your upper body posture, but I want you briefly to look down and just check that as you do this, that your knee is coming straight forward and not coming across the body, okay? So I want you to feel what's going on with that pelvis. So that's why I have my forearms against the top of my hips so I can feel if they're rocking from side to side. Think of engaging your core. So almost as if you're trying to do up a slightly tight pair of trousers, you're zipping up and pulling in, but keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So you don't have to hold on to anything for this, but it just feels nice to have maybe just fingertips there if you need to. Now, of course, you can challenge yourself and have nothing. Maybe put the hands or forearms on your hips so that you can feel what's going on. Also, think about what you're standing on. I'm standing on 2 mats here, 2 quite big, thick mats, and this is really challenging me. If I move onto the hard floor, it's a little bit easier. So go with what you need to for your body with these exercises. A couple more each side. We try and do the same number each side. Really be aware of your body, what's going on. Engaging your core. Maybe think about pulling up your pelvic floor too, but only if that isn't taking your concentration away from keeping the pelvis level. Well done. And release. Let's just give that a shake out. I'm using a ball for this exercise, but don't worry if you haven't got one, you can just reach your hands forward. So we're going to sit comfortably on our chair. Make sure you're nice and secure, taking the legs out in front. And all you're going to do is reach forward towards the toes, sitting upright. Feeling that in your abdominals. So we're aiming to work our abdominals. You're going to be working other muscles as well, but the focus here is on our core. So you can just reach the hand, or opposite hand even if you want, towards the foot or the ball. If you can't reach your foot, that's fine. Just aim for your knee, lift and lower. Watch that you're not leaning back. Sit nice and upright. Feel that in the core. You're zipping up as if you're trying to do up a slightly tight pair of trousers. Keep breathing, breathing out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose. So if you're doing it with a hand, you're just going to reach forward, reach forward, reach forward without rounding the back. You're trying not to round the back forward. Well done, you're doing great. A couple more if you can. Watch that your knee is staying towards the sky, that you haven't turned your toes out. A couple more each side if you can, but always, always remember, your body, your workout, you choose when you've had enough, you know. And release. Just give back a little bit of a round forward, arch over the top, and come back up. And maybe take it back the other way, rounding forward, arching back. So I'm just arching back and rest. A gentle exercise here for the abdominals and the obliques. What I want you to do is take your legs about shoulder width apart or slightly wider. Bend the knees slightly just to disengage the pelvis from movement, and you're going to tuck the bottom under slightly so we're in in a position here, and you're going to move only from the waist. So what I'm going to ask you to do, keep the head in alignment. You're just going to twist from the waist, taking the arm across the body and back. Oh. What I'd like you to do is bring the other hand back onto your hip so that you feel that you're not allowing that pelvis to twist. So feeling that from the waist. Breathing out as you reach, take the head with you. You're going to get a little bit of workout in the thighs as well, but the focus here is on keeping those hips level. Now keep going. I'm going to sit in the chair and show you an alternative version. If you find that your hips are moving, then do this exercise in the chair, reaching across. That is going to engage the right muscles. So your choice. If you can do it standing, you're going to be working those quads, the thighs as well. If you're in the seated position, take the feet back to hip width apart. Just get used to generally standing hip width apart, because in a standing position, that is generally the best position you can be to take the strain off your ankles, your knees, and your hips. In the standing position, if you take a little bit wider, it tends to be a bit softer on the knees and easier to hold that position for the length of time and to keep the pelvis still. One or two more if you can. Always remember, shouldn't be painful, and when you've had enough, you stop. Well done. This exercise is standing heel slides, which is going to work the quads, the front of the thighs, and the hamstrings, the back of the thighs. So you're going to need a chair ideally for this, so that you can slide underneath. You're going to start with the feet hip width apart. I'm going to start by showing you with facing you, but really you need your chair in front of you. And all you're going to do is bend one knee as you slide the other heel forward and come back up. Bend the other and slide. Ooh. So very much easier if you can hold on to a chair, keeping those feet hip width apart. Watch you're not allowing your knees to knock together in the middle. That is a tendency. So you might want to look down briefly and see what's happening to your knee for a couple of repetitions. Be really aware, maybe think about opening your hips up a little bit, but then bring your head back up. Think about your body posture. If you've got pain in your knee, you might need to make this a little smaller. Really is going to support or strengthen the muscles that support your knee. Try and keep that upper body as relaxed as possible. Try and keep those shoulders back rather than rounded forward. Always trying an upper Pilates exercise to keep the posture in the best position we can. Well done. Now I have a tendency to lordosis, which means my back is arched. So if I am doing that, please don't try and copy. If it's your natural posture, you probably will be doing it anyway, but try and keep those abdominals pulled in. Well done. A couple more if you can. You want to finish on the opposite leg than you started on, and the slower you can do it, the better. You're breathing out as you go out with the leg, back in as you come back. And release. So you've got a little bit of a shake out. So sitting comfortably on your chair, legs both straight out in front, holding onto your chair for support, keeping the body upright. We're going to do some work aiming on the core, so I want you to think about zipping up. Think of doing up a slightly tight pair of trousers. You're going to zip up, pull in from the side, but keep breathing. You're going to lift and lower, lift. So you're going to work your hip flexors, and you're going to feel it in your quads as well, but I want you to be really aware of your abdominal muscles. So you're pulling them in and release, breathing out through the mouth, in through the nose. The slower you do this, the harder it is. Concentration here is on the core, but you are working other muscles as well, obviously. Feet are relaxed, so it doesn't matter whether they're softly pointed or softly flexed. Lift and lower, Watch you're not slouching back. If you slouch back, you're not going to really feel that in the abdominals. Here, nothing. Here, as upright as you can. I've actually got my hands and I'm pushing them down into the chair behind me to help my body stay upright, engaging those core muscles. And remember, always your choice how many you do. I'm lifting the legs quite high, but you can keep it low. Well done. You might want to give yourself a little bit of a stretch now. Take the hands one on top of the other and stretch up above the head. If that's not good, if you've got blood pressure, just take the arms behind your shoulders and just open up. Feel that stretch forward, round the back forward, and then take it back, either with the hands on the shoulder or with the arms above the head, and release. You can sit or stand for this exercise. We're going to work the shoulders and a little bit for the triceps. Taking the arms out to the side, palms pushed out, fingertips up. We're going to circle forward. Smallish circles. Think about your posture, feet are hip width apart. So hip width, not shoulder width. If it gets too much, by all means, take those hands down and rest and try and join back in when you can. Let's take it back in the other direction. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you're feeling that's uncomfortable in your fingers, just release it off slightly. I'm going to go forward again, this time with the fingertips down. And back if you've got enough strength in your shoulders to do this. If you're beginning to shrug your shoulders up, then by all means relax, shake it out, do what you need to do to release that out. A few more if you can. You're doing really well. It's harder work than it looks, this. Oh, and shake it out. I really like after this one to let the hands swing backwards and forwards. It's not a very definite swing. You're letting those shoulders relax and the arms swing in the sockets. Other one you can do is lean forward and just let the arms circle backwards and forwards. Again, not a very definite move. Release, shake it out. Let's have a little quick shoulder stretch. Taking the hand onto the other shoulder, let it slide. You just push against the fleshy part of the arm. Turn that way, see, the hand is sliding over the top. It doesn't have to go very far, just until you feel the stretch in the shoulder. And release. I'm going to take it to the other side. Other arm comes up. Place it on the shoulder, let it slide as you push. Doesn't matter which arm you did first, as long as you feel that stretch in the shoulders. Great work. For this exercise, I want you to stand behind your chair. So stay facing me, put the chair in front of you, and you're going to keep your hands on the chair. Feet are hip width apart. So if you're not sure, feet together, toes out, heels out, centre of the hips, centre of the knees, centre of the ankles. Not shoulder width, hip width. And all I'm going to ask you to do is bend your knees and try and sit slightly backwards as if you're sitting in a chair. Now, how low you go is up to you. I'm only looking for mini squats here. The reason for asking you to stand behind a chair is that I don't want your knees coming a long way forward. I want you to think about sitting back. This exercise works the quads, which is the thighs, and the glutes, which is your bum. So we really want to feel that in the bum. Also, really be aware with this, very easy. I'll show you to arch your back as you come down. Try not to do that. Keep the pelvis tucked under. Keep your back in neutral as you come down and lift back up. Coming down. Now I can come down quite a long way. My quads are quite strong. But you go with what works for you. And I don't care if you're only moving half an inch or even an inch. So for you, if that is working for you, if you can feel that small movement working, then that's exactly right for you. Stay facing me. Think about your posture, so you're keeping that pelvis tucked. You're keeping the head upright, lengthening the back of the neck, retracting the chin, keeping those shoulders relaxed. You're using this for support and to watch that you're not bringing the knees all the way in. Think about sitting back as if you're sitting back in a chair. And lift. Down. And lift. Couple more, if you can. Really good for the muscles supporting the knees. Okay, give a little shake out.